The girl from the market. The sea doesn't ask questions. It takes what the storm brings and leaves the rest on the shore. 15 years ago, after a night when the wind screamed and the waves swallowed the sky, a small body washed up on the rocks near a fishing village. No name, no family, just a child wrapped in silence, salt, and the fading warmth of whoever had let her go. Mara found her that morning. She was walking the beach looking for driftwood to sell, and there the girl was, blue-lipped, shivering, but alive. Mara didn't ask the sea for explanations. She took the child home, named her Aria, and raised her like her own. But the village knew. They always know. The market opens before the sun does. It's a place where fish glisten under weak bulbs and voices haggle in rhythms older than memory. Aria stands behind a wooden stall, hands red from ice and scales, eyes fixed on the ground. She's learned that if you don't look up, people look away faster. How much for the mackerel? A woman asks, not unkindly. $8 a pound, Aria replies, her voice barely louder than the wind. The woman nods, pays, and leaves. No eye contact. No small talk. That's how it always goes. Mara watches from the side, arms folded, face worn smooth by years of surviving without asking for help. She doesn't speak much these days, but her eyes, those eyes still hold something sharp. Something that hasn't given up yet. Aria knows why people avoid her. It's not cruelty, exactly. It's discomfort. She doesn't look like the others. Her features are softer, her skin a shade lighter, her eyes a different shape. In a town where everyone knows everyone's bloodline 3 generations back, Aria is a question no one wants to answer. The kids at school used to ask, "Where's your real mom?" She stopped going 2 years ago. Now, the market is her classroom. The stall is her desk. And Mara is the only family she has. It's late afternoon when the black SUV pulls up to the curb. At first, no one notices. Luxury cars don't come to this part of town. But then the door opens, and a woman steps out, tall, elegant, wearing a coat that probably costs more than the entire day's earnings at the market. She's scanning the crowd, searching, and then her eyes land on Aria. The woman freezes. Her mouth opens slightly, like she's seen a ghost. She takes a step forward, then another, moving through the crowd as if pulled by invisible strings. Aria feels it before she sees it, the weight of being watched. She looks up. Their eyes meet. The woman's face crumples. Her hand flies to her mouth. She whispers something Aria can't hear, then says it louder, voice breaking, "Chloe." Aria blinks. "I'm sorry?" The woman rushes forward, tears streaming now, and reaches out as if to touch her face. "My daughter, my Chloe." "Oh my God, it's you." The market goes quiet. All eyes turn. Mara steps in front of Aria, her body a wall. "You've got the wrong person, ma'am." But the woman, Elena Whitford, though Aria doesn't know that yet, shakes her head violently. "No, no. I know my own child. She was taken from me 10 years ago. Right here, from this beach." Aria's heart pounds. 10 years ago. The storm. Elena pulls out a photo from her purse with trembling hands. It's a little girl, maybe 5 years old, with dark curls and wide eyes. The resemblance isn't perfect, but it's close enough to make people stare. "Please," Elena whispers, voice breaking. "Please, just let me look at you." Aria doesn't move. She feels like the ground beneath her is splitting open. Mara's grip tightens on her shoulder. For a moment, Aria thinks Mara will say no. Will protect her. Will tell this woman to leave. But then Mara leans in close and whispers, barely audible, "Go with her." Aria's head snaps toward her. "What?" Mara's face is stone. "This is your chance. Don't waste it." "But I go." There's something in Mara's eyes Aria has never seen before. Not love. Not protection. Hunger. Elena reaches out her hand, trembling, hopeful. "Will you come with me?" Just for a little while, please. I just need to know. Aria looks at the hand. Clean, manicured, belonging to a life she's only ever seen through shop windows. She looks back at Mara, the woman who found her, who fed her, who kept her alive. Mara nods once. Slowly, deliberately, Aria takes Elena's hand. It's warm. The SUV smells like leather and perfume. The seats are soft enough to sink into. Elena sits beside her, crying quietly, holding her hand like it might disappear if she lets go. I'm taking you home, Elena says through tears. I'm finally taking you home. Aria stares out the window as the market shrinks behind them. She sees Mara standing by the stall, arms folded, face unreadable. And for the first time in her life, Aria wonders, was I ever really home at all? The mansion of glass wealth has a scent. It's not perfume or flowers. It's the absence of worry, clean, sterile, untouched by the smell of survival. Aria notices it the moment she steps through the front door. The mansion sits high on a hill overlooking San Francisco, white and gleaming like something that fell from a different sky. Crystal chandeliers, marble floors so polished she can see her reflection. Windows stretching from floor to ceiling, offering views of a city that glitters at night like scattered diamonds. Elena walks ahead, her heels clicking softly. This is your home now, sweetheart. It always was. Aria follows in silence, her worn sneakers squeaking against the marble. She feels like a smudge on a clean page. A housekeeper appears middle-aged, efficient, kind-eyed. Welcome home, Miss Chloe, she says with a practiced smile. Aria opens her mouth to correct her, then closes it. Miss Chloe. The name sits heavy on her chest. Elena leads her upstairs to a bedroom 3 times the size of the shack she shared with Mara. The bed is canopied in white silk. The closet is full of clothes with tags still attached. Everything is perfect. Everything is waiting. I kept it ready, Elena says softly. Just in case. Aria touches the edge of the bed. The fabric is softer than anything she's ever felt. It's beautiful. Elena's eyes fill with tears again. You're beautiful. My girl. My Chloe. That name again. It lands like a stone in still water. Elena cups Aria's face gently. Get some rest. Tomorrow, we'll start fresh. A new life. The life you were supposed to have. She kisses Aria's forehead and leaves, closing the door softly behind her. Aria stands alone in the vast room. The silence is different here. Not the silence of an empty belly or a cold night. This is the silence of too much space, too much softness, too much expectation. She walks to the window and looks out at the city below. Somewhere down there, the market is closing. Maria's packing up unsold fish. The smell of salt and survival clings to every corner. Aria presses her palm against the glass. It's cool, smooth, unyielding. A cage made of light. The first week passes like a dream or a performance. Breakfast is served on china. Lunch is prepared by a chef. Dinner is accompanied by soft classical music and polite conversation. Elena asks questions carefully, as if Aria might shatter. Do you remember anything from before? Aria shakes her head. No. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. It's not your fault. Elena reaches across the table and squeezes her hand. We'll make new memories. But the memories don't feel new. They feel borrowed. At night, Aria lies awake in the silk-covered bed and stares at the ceiling. The room is too quiet, too clean. She misses the sound of the wind through cracks in the wall, the weight of a thin blanket, the certainty of knowing exactly who she was. Nobody important, but at least nobody else. Her phone buzzes. A message from an unknown number. How's the princess life? Aria's stomach drops. She knows that tone. Mara? Don't forget where you came from. And don't forget what you owe me. Aria stares at the screen. Her fingers hover over the keyboard, but she doesn't reply. She turns off the phone and buries it under the pillow, but sleep doesn't come. By the second week, the cracks begin to show. Elena enrolls her in a private school, St. Catherine's Academy, where uniforms cost more than a month's worth of fish. The other students smile politely, but their eyes measure her. They know she doesn't belong. A girl named Tess approaches her in the hallway. Blonde, confident, sharp as broken glass. "So you're the miracle girl," Tess says, tilting her head. "The one who came back from the dead." Aria forces a smile. "I guess." "Funny. You don't look like her." "Like who?" "Chloe Whitford." "I've seen pictures." "You're close, but not quite." Tess leans in, voice dropping. "What's your secret?" Aria's pulse quickens. "I don't have one." Tess smiles slowly. "Everyone has secrets, especially people who show up out of nowhere." She walks away, leaving Aria standing frozen in the hall. That night, Aria's phone buzzes again. "Tomorrow night. Your window. Small bag. Don't make me wait." Aria reads the message 3 times. Her hands shake. She looks around the bedroom at the jewelry box on the dresser, the designer handbag on the chair, the gold watch Elena gave her just because. She won't notice, a voice whispers in her head. She has so much. What's one thing? But another voice answers, it's stealing. It's wrong. Aria closes her eyes. She thinks of Mara's face, hard, unyielding, tired. She thinks of the years Mara kept her alive when no one else cared. She thinks of the cold, the hunger, the fear of going back. At midnight, she opens the jewelry box and takes a bracelet. It's small, delicate, probably worth more than a year at the market. She wraps it in tissue and places it in a cloth bag. The next night, she waits by the window. At 2 a.m., she sees a shadow near the garden wall. She drops the bag. It disappears into the dark. Aria closes the window and sits on the floor, knees pulled to her chest. She tells herself it's just once. Just this one time. But she knows better. Lies don't stay small. They grow. They spread. They consume. A week later, Mara messages again. "Good girl." Next week, something bigger. Aria stares at the screen. Her chest tightens. She types, "I can't keep doing this." The reply comes instantly. "You want to go back to the market? Sleep on a straw mat? Eat scraps? Or do you want to stay in your palace?" Aria's hands tremble. "Your choice, princess." She doesn't reply. She locks her phone and buries it in a drawer. But that night, Elena knocks on her door. "Sweetheart, have you seen my emerald bracelet? I thought I left it on the dresser." But Aria's throat goes dry. "No, I haven't seen it." Elena smiles gently. "That's okay. It'll turn up. Things have a way of disappearing in big houses." She kisses Aria's forehead and leaves. Aria sits on the bed, staring at her hands. They're clean now. No fish scales. No salt. No dirt. But they feel dirtier than ever. Downstairs, in the shadows of the hallway, a security guard watches the surveillance footage from the garden camera. He rewinds, pauses, zooms in. A small bag dropped from a second-floor window. He makes a note. Says nothing. Not yet. Aria lies awake that night, staring at the glass ceiling of her new prison. Outside, the city glitters. Inside, the silence presses down like a hand over her mouth. She thinks of Mara, of Elena, of the girl named Chloe who may or may not exist. And she realizes she is not trapped between two lives. She's trapped between two lies. And the only way out is deeper in. The weight of lies. Guilt has a rhythm. It taps at your ribs when you wake. It hums in your chest when you smile. It waits in the silence before sleep. Aria knows this rhythm now. She's learned to move with it. Every week, the messages come. Every week, she takes something small, a ring, a scarf, a silver lighter. Things Elena won't miss immediately. Things that can be explained away as misplaced or forgotten. And every week, the bag drops from her window into the dark. She tells herself it's temporary. That once Mara has enough, it will stop. That she can go back to being the girl Elena believes she is. But lies don't stop. They multiply. It's been 3 weeks since the first theft. Aria sits in the study, pretending to read. Elena is across the room, on the phone with someone about a charity gala. Her voice is warm, practiced, graceful. A security guard enters quietly. His name is Marcus, mid-30s, ex-military. Eyes that see too much. Mrs. Whitford, a moment? Elena excuses herself from the call. What is it? Marcus glances at Aria, then back at Elena. We've noticed some irregularities. Items going missing. Small things. Aria's fingers tighten around the book. Elena frowns. What kind of items? Jewelry. Accessories. Nothing major, but consistent. And you think someone on staff were reviewing the footage now? Marcus says carefully. Just wanted to keep you informed. Elena nods slowly. Thank you, Marcus. Let me know what you find. He leaves. Elena sighs and rubs her temples. I hate thinking someone in this house would steal from us. Aria's throat is dry. Maybe it's just misplaced. Elena smiles sadly. Maybe. But her eyes linger on Aria for a second too long. That night, Aria's phone buzzes. They're watching. Be careful. Her heart slams against her ribs. She types quickly. I can't do this anymore. You don't have a choice. I'll tell her. I'll tell her everything. The reply takes a full minute. Go ahead. Tell her you're a liar, a thief, a fake. See how long she keeps you after that. Aria stares at the screen until her vision blurs. Mara's right. If she confesses now, she loses everything: the house, the safety, the illusion of being someone worth loving. But if she keeps going, she loses herself. She throws the phone across the room. It hits the wall and cracks. She doesn't pick it up. At school, Tess is circling closer. She sits beside Aria at lunch, uninvited. You're good at pretending, Tess says casually, peeling an orange. But not that good. Aria doesn't look up. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. Tess leans in. I did some digging. Chloe Whitford disappeared 10 years ago from a beach town 2 hours south of here. You showed up at a fish market in that exact town. Coincidence? Aria's pulse hammers. Lots of kids live near beaches. Not kids who look exactly like missing heiresses. Tess smiles. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying it's interesting. What do you want? Tess shrugs. Nothing, yet. Just thought you should know I'm watching. She walks away, leaving Aria sitting alone with a tray of food she can't eat. That night, Aria makes a decision. She can't keep stealing. She can't keep lying. And she can't keep pretending she belongs in a life built on someone else's tragedy. She needs to know the truth. At 3 a.m., she slips out of the house. She takes a rideshare to the bus station and boards the first bus south. The ride takes 2 hours. The sun rises over the coast, painting the water gold. When she steps off the bus, the smell hits her: first salt, fish, engine oil. Home. She walks to Mara's shack. The door is unlocked. It always is. Inside, the air is stale. The furniture is the same. The stove still has a dent from the time Aria dropped a pot. Mara is sitting at the table, smoking. She doesn't look surprised. Knew you'd come back. Aria stands in the doorway. I need to know the truth. Mara exhales smoke. Truth about what? About me. About where I came from. About why you told me to go with her. Mara stubs out the cigarette. You want the truth? Fine. I found you on the beach after a storm. You were half dead. No ID. No family. I took you in because I'm not a monster. And you kept me because you're not a saint. Mara's eyes narrow. I fed you. Clothed you. Kept a roof over your head. You think that was free? So you sold me. I gave you a chance. Mara stands. You think you'd have survived another winter in this dump? You think anyone in this town would have adopted you? You were a ghost. I made you real. Aria's voice shakes. By making me someone else. By giving you a life. Mara steps closer. And now you're gonna throw it away because of guilt? Grow up, Aria. The world doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about survival. Aria looks around the room at the sagging couch, the cracked walls, the single photo on the shelf. She walks over and picks it up. It's a picture of a woman holding a baby. The woman is younger, smiling. The baby is wrapped in a yellow blanket. Aria stares at it. Who is this? Mara snatches the photo. No one. That's not me, is it? Mara says nothing. Aria's voice cracks. I'm not your daughter. I'm not Chloe. I'm not anyone. Mara's face hardens. You're whoever you choose to be. That's the only truth that matters. Aria turns and walks out. She doesn't look back. On the bus ride home, Aria stares out the window. The ocean stretches endlessly beside her. She thinks about the yellow blanket, the storm, the woman in the photo, and she realizes she's been searching for her identity in other people's stories. But maybe her story doesn't start with being found. Maybe it starts with finding herself. She arrives back at the mansion just before dawn. The house is still quiet. She slips into her room and sits on the bed. Her cracked phone lies on the floor. She picks it up. One new message. If you tell her, I'll tell her first. And my version won't be kind. Aria deletes it. She opens her drawer and pulls out every stolen item she hasn't yet handed over. A watch, a necklace, a small painting. She arranges them on the desk. Then she takes out a piece of paper and writes, I need to tell you the truth. She folds it and places it beside the items. Tomorrow, she'll give it to Elena. Tomorrow, she'll stop being Chloe. Stop being Aria. Tomorrow, she'll find out who she really is. Or lose everything trying. Outside, in the garden, Marcus reviews the security footage one more time. He watches the window, the bag, the shadow. He picks up the phone. Mrs. Whitford, we need to talk. The truth unfolds. Some truths arrive quietly. Others shatter the room. Aria wakes to the sound of voices downstairs. Low, tense, controlled. She sits up slowly. The note is still on her desk. The stolen items arranged beside it like evidence at a trial. She didn't sleep. She couldn't. The voices grow louder. One is Elena's. The other is Marcus. Aria's stomach twists. She gets dressed quickly and walks downstairs. Her legs feel like water. Elena is standing in the living room, arms crossed. Marcus is beside her, holding a tablet. On the screen, surveillance footage. A window. A shadow. A bag dropping into the dark. Elena's face is stone. Marcus sees Aria first. Miss Whitford. Elena turns. Her eyes are red. Not from crying. From something colder. Aria, she says quietly. Come here. Aria's throat closes. She steps forward. Elena gestures to the screen. Do you know what this is? Aria looks. She knows. Yes. Tell me. It's me. Dropping things from my window. Elena's jaw tightens. Why? Aria's voice shakes. Because someone asked me to. Who? Mara. The name lands like a slap. Elena closes her eyes. Takes a breath. Opens them again. The woman from the market. Yes. The woman you called your mother. She's not my mother. Elena's voice cracks. Then who is she? Aria's hands tremble. I don't know. And who are you? Silence. Elena steps closer. Are you my daughter? Aria looks at the floor. I don't know. Look at me. Aria lifts her eyes. Elena's face is breaking. Not with anger. With something worse, hope dying in real time. I wanted so badly to believe it, Elena whispers. That you were her. That after 10 years, God finally gave her back to me. I wanted to believe it too. But you knew, didn't you? You knew you weren't Chloe. Aria's voice is barely audible. I didn't know anything. I still don't. Elena's hands shake. Then why did you lie? Because I was scared. Tears spill down Aria's face. Because I was poor. Because I was hungry. Because Mara told me to. Because when you looked at me like I mattered, I wanted it to be real. Elena turns away. Her shoulders shake. Marcus clears his throat. Mrs. Whitford, we should call now. Elena's voice is sharp. Not yet. She turns back to Aria. Did you take anything else? Aria nods. It's in my room. Everything. I was going to give it back. I swear. Elena laughs bitterly. You swear. On what? Your name? You don't even know your name. The words cut deeper than any scream. Aria wipes her face. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't bring her back. I know. Sorry doesn't give me 10 years. I know. Elena's voice breaks. Then what am I supposed to do with you? Aria has no answer. An hour later, a detective arrives. His name is Kaufman. Mid-50s. Kind eyes. Tired face. He sits across from Aria in the study. Elena is beside him. Marcus stands by the door. Let's start simple, Kaufman says gently. What's your name? Aria. Last name? I don't have one. Where were you born? I don't know. Who are your parents? I don't know. Kaufman writes something down. The woman at the market, Mara. She's not your biological mother? No. She found me after a storm on the beach 10 years ago. Elena flinches. Kaufman leans forward. Aria, I need you to be very honest with me. Did you know you weren't Chloe Whitford when you agreed to come here? Aria hesitates. I didn't know anything. Mara told me to go with her. I didn't understand why. And when did you realize? When she started asking me to steal. Kaufman nods slowly. And you complied? Yes. Why? Aria's voice cracks. Because I was afraid of losing this. Of going back. Elena stands abruptly. I need air. She walks out. Kaufman watches her go, then turns back to Aria. Mrs. Whitford requested a DNA test 3 days ago. The results came in this morning. Aria's heart stops. You're not a match. The room tilts. Kaufman continues. But the test did find something. A partial match in the database. A woman named Lena Park filed a missing child report 15 years ago. The DNA suggests a familial connection. Aria stares at him. Who is she? We're trying to locate her now. But Aria, he pauses. Chloe Whitford's case was never closed. We've been searching for her for 10 years. And 2 days ago, we found her. Aria's breath catches. What? She's alive. Living under a different name in Oregon. She was taken by a family member during a custody dispute. She didn't even know she was missing. The words don't make sense. Aria's brain scrambles to assemble them into meaning. She's coming here, Kaufman says quietly. Tomorrow. Aria finds Elena in the garden. She's sitting on a bench, staring at nothing. Aria approaches slowly. Mrs. Whitford. Elena doesn't look up. You should pack. I know. Marcus will arrange transportation. Okay. Silence. Then Elena speaks, voice hollow. When I saw you at that market, I thought God was answering a prayer I'd been screaming for 10 years. I'm sorry I wasn't her. So am I? Aria sits beside her. Not close. Just near. For what it's worth, Aria says quietly, you made me feel like I mattered. Even if it was a lie. Even if I didn't deserve it. For the first time in my life, someone looked at me like I was worth something. Elena finally turns. Her eyes are red and empty. You were worth something, Aria. You just weren't mine. That night, Aria packs her things. She doesn't have much. She came with nothing. She'll leave the same way. She writes a letter and leaves it on the desk. Dear Mrs. Whitford, I know sorry isn't enough. I know I can't give you back what I took, not the jewelry, not the time, not the hope. But I want you to know when you find her tomorrow, hold her the way you held me. Tell her the things you told me. Give her the life you tried to give me. She'll be lucky to have you. I'm sorry I wasn't her, but I'm grateful you let me pretend, even for a little while. Aria, she folds it carefully and places it beside the returned items. Then she picks up her bag and walks downstairs. Marcus is waiting by the door. I'll drive you. Where? Wherever you want. Aria looks back at the house one last time. The lights are warm. The windows glow. It was never hers. But for a moment, it felt like home. She steps outside. The gate closes behind her with a soft click. The next morning, a car pulls up to the mansion. A young woman steps out. Dark curls, wide eyes, nervous smile. Elena opens the door. And for the first time in 10 years, She holds her real daughter. Somewhere across the city, Aria sits on a bus. The window is cold against her cheek. She doesn't know where she's going. But for the first time, she's not pretending to be someone else. She's just Aria. Lost, alone, free. And maybe that's enough. The journey beyond blood freedom doesn't arrive with fanfare. It comes quietly, like dawn breaking over a road you've never seen before. Aria sits by the window of a Greyhound bus, watching the city shrink behind her. The buildings grow smaller. The lights fade. The noise softens into the hum of tires on asphalt. She doesn't know where she's going. She bought a ticket to the end of the line, a coastal town she has never heard of, where no one knows her name and no one is looking for her face. For the first time in weeks, she can breathe. Her phone buzzes. She almost ignores it. But something makes her look. It's a message from an unknown number. "You left without saying goodbye." Her heart skips. She types slowly. "Who is this?" "Tess." Aria stares at the screen. Of all the people she expected to hear from, Tess wasn't one of them. "How did you get my number?" "I have my ways." "Listen before you disappear. You should know something." Aria waits. "I found her. Your biological mother, Lena Park. She's been looking for you." Aria's hands go numb. "What?" "I did some digging after you left." Detective Kaufman's report was sitting on Elena's desk. "I may have taken a picture." A file arrives. Aria opens it. A scanned document. A photo. A woman in her 40s. Dark hair. Soft eyes. A face Aria has seen in mirrors but never understood. Beneath the photo, an address. Oakland, 1247 Maple Street. Aria's breath catches. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because everyone deserves to know where they came from, even liars." Aria closes her eyes. When she opens them, the message has one more line. "Good luck, Aria, whoever you are." The bus stops at a rest area. Aria steps off, buys a coffee she doesn't drink, and stares at the address on her phone. Oakland is 2 hours north. She could get there by tonight. But what would she say? "Hi, I'm the daughter you lost 15 years ago. Sorry I don't remember you. Sorry I became someone else." She sits on a bench outside the station and watches people come and go. Families, strangers, people who know exactly where they're headed. She thinks about Elena, about the way she held her that first night, like she was fragile and precious and worth protecting. About the way her face broke when the truth came out. She thinks about Mara, about cold mornings at the market, about survival that came with conditions, about love that was never really love at all. And she thinks about the woman in the photo, Lena, a name that means nothing and everything at once. Aria pulls out a notebook, one of the few things she kept from the mansion. She opens to a blank page and writes, "I don't know if I'll ever meet you. I don't know if you're still looking. But I want you to know I'm sorry I disappeared. I'm sorry I couldn't find my way back. I'm sorry I became a stranger to myself. But I'm trying now. I'm trying to find out who I am without borrowed names or stolen lives. Maybe one day, I'll be ready to knock on your door. Maybe one day, I'll be someone you'd want to know. Until then, I'll keep walking, one step at a time, towards something real." She tears the page out, folds it carefully, and tucks it into her pocket. Then she stands, boards the next bus, and heads north. Oakland at dusk looks like a painting left unfinished. Old houses, cracked sidewalks, trees that have learned to grow through concrete. Aria stands across the street from 1247 Maple Street. It's a small house, blue paint peeling at the edges, a porch light glowing soft and yellow. Through the window, she sees movement. A woman, stirring something on the stove, moving slowly, carefully, like someone who has carried weight for a long time. Aria's legs won't move. She watches for 10 minutes, 15, 20. The woman sets the pot down and walks to the window. She looks out at the street, as if searching for something she's lost. Aria's breath catches. Their eyes meet. The woman freezes. Aria's heart hammers. And then slowly the woman raises her hand. Not a wave, just a gentle lift of her palm. An acknowledgement. A question. Is it you? Aria's hand moves on its own. She raises it too. They stand like that for a long moment. Two strangers separated by glass and time and all the years that tried to erase them. Then the woman steps back, disappears into the house. Aria thinks she's gone. But a second later, the front door opens. The woman stands on the porch. Her face is lined with years. Her eyes are full of something Aria can't name. She doesn't call out, doesn't rush forward. She just waits. And Aria realizes this is the choice she's been running from her entire life. To stay a ghost, or to become real. She takes one step, then another. The distance between them shrinks. When she reaches the porch, the woman speaks. Her voice is soft, careful, like she's afraid the moment will shatter. I've been looking for you. Aria's throat tightens. I didn't know where to look. The woman's eyes fill with tears. You're here now. That's enough. She opens the door wider. Aria hesitates. I don't know if I'm who you think I am. I don't care who you think you are. The woman says gently. I just want to know who you want to be. Aria's chest aches. She thinks of Elena, of Mara, of Chloe, of all the names and faces and lives she tried to wear like armor. And she realizes none of them fit because they were never hers to begin with. I want to be Aria, she says quietly. Just Aria. The woman smiles through her tears. Then come inside, Aria. Let's start there. Inside, the house smells like soup and old books. It's small, warm in a way that has nothing to do with heat. They sit at a table that has seen 1,000 meals. The woman pours tea with hands that shake slightly. I don't know where to start, she says. Me neither. They sit in silence. It's not uncomfortable. It's the kind of silence that happens when two people are figuring out how to build something from scratch. Finally, the woman speaks. 15 years ago, I was young and stupid and scared. I lost you because I wasn't careful. Because I trusted the wrong person. Because I thought I had time. I don't remember, Aria says softly. I know. And that's okay. The woman reaches across the table, stops halfway, waits. Aria looks at the hand. Weathered, strong, real. She reaches out and takes it. I can't give you back those years, the woman says. But if you let me, I'd like to try for the ones ahead. Aria's throat tightens. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to be a daughter. I don't know how to be a mother who missed 15 years. The woman squeezes her hand. So let's figure it out together. That night, Aria sleeps in a small room with a window that faces the street. The bed is narrow. The blanket is thin. The walls are bare. But it's hers. Before she closes her eyes, she pulls out the note she wrote on the bus. She unfolds it and reads it one last time. Then she walks to the desk, finds a pen, and adds one more line. I found you. Or maybe you found me. Either way, I'm ready now. She tucks the note into the drawer and lies down. Outside, the streetlights hum. A dog barks in the distance. The wind rattles the window. It's not a mansion. It's not a palace. It's not the life she thought she wanted. But it's real. And maybe that's all it ever needed to be. Somewhere across the city, Elena Whitford sits in her daughter's room, the real Chloe, finally home. They're looking through old photo albums, laughing, crying, stitching the years back together one memory at a time. Elena pauses on a blank page. She takes out a pen and writes to the girl who wasn't mine but needed to be loved anyway. Thank you for reminding me what it feels like to hope. I hope you find what you're looking for. She closes the album gently and sets it aside. And far to the south, in a shack by the sea, Mara sits alone with a cigarette and a bottle. The market is closed. The fish are gone. The night is cold. Her phone sits on the table. No messages. No calls. She stares at it for a long time. Then she picks it up, types a message. and deletes it before sending. "I'm sorry." She knows it's too late for sorry, but she types it anyway. Deletes it. Types it again. Finally, she sets the phone down and walks to the window. The ocean is dark. The waves are loud. The wind is unforgiving. She watches it all and feels nothing. Because some people are storms. And storms don't apologize. On a bus heading north towards something new, Aria leans her head against the glass and watches the stars. She doesn't know what tomorrow will bring. She doesn't know if this story has a happy ending, but she knows one thing: she is not a ghost anymore. She's not a lie. She's not someone else's dream or nightmare. She's Aria, lost for 15 years, found in a moment, building herself one day at a time, and that finally is enough.